guys fishing. What up, guys? Bass Boys here. Today, we're going for muskies. It's the first time this year I'm going for muskies. I don't know if you guys can hear me, it's pretty windy out. It's actually very windy, which isn't a good sign, especially here. Supposed to be a big snowstorm today, but it never happened. We were supposed to get like a foot of snow and then dwindled down to nothing. But it's cold, so a lot different than last time when I was fishing. It's warm out. Right now it's like 30s. 35 or something. So I'll see you guys when I get to the first spot I'm fishing. Alright guys, we're walking to the first spot here. Got a giant net. It's like a salmon net. It's pretty massive and it's kind of a hassle to carry around, but I learned a lesson catching a muskie. I mean, not the first time I caught one, but it might have been the third. That you need a net for sure. And it's pretty hard to get them in without a net. Especially one that's just going berserk. So, if you plan on musky fishing, definitely have yourself a good size net. First spot I'm gonna fish today. It's a little boat ramp. It actually looks like they fixed it. Used to be a big hole. Big giant hole in this gravel. That's one thing I'll be doing this year is using a boat. There's always like a big giant hole here. It was hard to get the boat up and down. Because you can't back in here or anything, you have to pull it yourself, and you know it's pretty tiring. So, especially depending on what kind of boat or whatever you have. All right, guys. So for gear today, since we're going for musky, I'm not new to it, but I got some pretty expensive gear. So here's a Tranx 400 HG bait caster. I got the big handle. I like the big handle. More torque and more power. And then for a rod, I'm using a Shimano Ski 8-foot. And it's in the extra heavy. So we're gonna be throwing some big baits today. I'm gonna start out using a big Weagle, which is a big top water lure. I think it's actually a 10-inch lure. Get that out and show that to you. I got quite the assortment of musky gear I gathered over the fall, because I really got into musky fishing last fall for some reason. I mean, I've always been into it, but I kind of went crazy. So this is just one box. I have like 3 more. this is what we're going to use today, for now, at least. It's the Suic Weagle. You can obviously tell it's a pretty massive bait. Just a round wooden cylinder kind of thing with massive treble hooks. 3 of them. And this is one reason why it's important to have a net, because when you catch a fish with this, and you got the muskie flying around with this, when you're reeling in and trying to grab it, it can be pretty dangerous. But yeah, this is a 10-inch model. Anybody watching who wants to purchase this, they make an 8-inch too, which might be a little bit more reasonable. But both muskies that I have caught last fall were on this, and several other follows and strikes that could have easily been more musties that I caught. But with muskie fishing, you get a follow or something, it's pretty exciting. It's almost like catching a fish. It's almost like catching it's like compared to like catching like a 5-pound bass, just getting a follow, a good sized muskie. Now it is February, and like I said, we were supposed to have a big storm today. It's supposed to put down like 12 inches of snow or more, but it dwindled down to basically nothing. So I decided to come out here today. It's freezing cold. It's not freezing, it's not 32, but it's gotta be pretty close. The wind's blowing pretty hard, so don't know how long I'll be out here for. And I don't know if I'll expect anything today, to be honest. Kind of going crazy here using this giant bait and this early. So we'll see what happens. Make sure I got this clip tied on, clipped on. Always want to check your clips with these kind of baits, because obviously it's pretty expensive. It's like a $40 lure, so you don't want to be losing that. And I have a decent sized leader. I forget what size this is, but these are like custom. Someone made them. Like, I think it might be like a 100-pound test steel or something. I forget what they call it. Alright, that's good. And as usual, if you're interested in anything that I am using in this video, I always have it in the description. Maybe not the net, but everything else I'll put in there. Alright, so we're just walking the dog. It's pretty easy, just, I mean, not too easy, but when you get used to it, it's pretty easy to do. But you're just basically flicking the rod and the handle at the same time. And I'd say with a musky lure, it's easier than like a bass or a small walk the dog sort of lure. I think it's harder to learn with a small lure. For some reason, the bigger ones seem to walk a lot better. I do have my camera on my chest, obviously. It's kind of in my way. So I put my pole in my arm, under my arm pit. It's kind of hard to cast too. And I got gloves on. So it's making it kind of hard. Tilt this camera down so you can see. Walking this probably pretty slow. Should be walking it really slow if I want to have any chance at anything. I'll probably try a variety of baits today. Maybe if I actually feel like taking it off on and off and stuff, which I hate doing. It's freezing. to trust in a bait, especially a muskie. I've always found myself switching baits constantly, trying to use something different, and then in the end I always end up using this kind of thing. Expecting too much, especially in these conditions and the time of the year. It's not too good right now. Yeah, it's pretty cold out here today.
So you got a nice torpedo.
Yeah. Using a Suic Weagle 10-inch. I think it's about 8 ounces or something. Pretty massive bait.
10-inch.
I mean, it's not the ideal thing to be using right now, but just thought I'd come out, try it. And I've had some follows, but that's about it. And some strikes. Musky follow is just as good as catching a fish almost. Catching a good fish. Some big waves out there. Just here with Fox Trekker right here. That's who I'm talking to. Anybody's wondering. He's just right over there. Yeah. Yeah, I saw that. Yeah. It's probably like 40 exactly.
I think it's 40.
Yeah. Because water won't freeze until everything is 39 degrees. And then once that happens, that's when ice starts to form, if it's cold enough. It's like a scientific thing. Water like has to be like a certain temperature. But yeah, I'd guess it's probably like 40.
Yeah, you guys talking about going to Canada or something?
What?
I heard that you guys were talking about going to Canada to go fishing or something.
Who said that? My dad said that?
I think so.
Yeah,
Maybe.
I heard him talking on the phone yesterday.
Is that just like a thing?
Yeah, that's just a thing right now. We haven't really talked about it.
I don't think you need to go all the way up to Canada. I think if you just go up to up north to, I don't know where you can go.
There's a lot. Lake of the Woods. It's like half in Minnesota, or it's halfway in like Canada and half in the United States. And that's like a really known musky lake, big time musky lake.
It's where people fish.
Yeah. I mean, there's all sorts of good fishing over there. Walleyes, too. Giant northerns. I forgot to mention the kind of line I'm using right now. I think it's 80-pound Suffix braid. My 80-pound, could be 100-pound. You want a nice heavy line for muskies because you're using these big giant baits. And I'm probably gonna move spots here. This is usually where I start. All right, people, we're at another spot here. So put on the same bait again. Water is a little bit more calm over here. I like that a lot better than fishing in those waves, especially when you're using the top water, big top water. Should be able to cast far here. It's wind behind me. Looks pretty good.
Walking the dog.
Yeah, we're walking the dog again. Walking the dog when it's February.
I gotta keep putting my gloves back on.
Yeah, hand gets too cold quickly. Camera. 20-something foot drop over here. Might change to the. Might have to change over to the creeper. It's a common occurrence here. This will happen. Leader will get wrapped up in the troubles. I'm gonna try a different lure here. Put on different lure. Some more of my Musky assortment lures here. This is something that happens though. Hooks get stuck on every lure.
Well, you're only supposed to put one in each spot.
But I just put as many as I can. And I have more at home that I don't even bring. Bought all these though, like last fall. It's like a bunch of them. This one, it's like a handmade one. This one was like $50. This lure. It's called Creeper.
Oh, that's the one that's got like the spinner and stuff on it?
Yeah. I'll have this in the description. If you guys want to buy it. I'll show you what it does, what it sounds like. So it has a cool sound. If it works. Yeah. You'll hear that sound out there.
So it like kind of walks itself and flops around.
Doing the action. If you could zoom it in.
Well, hopefully I can make one out of this video.
Yeah.
I clip it.
Yeah, that's what I do.
It doesn't turn out as good quality.
Yeah.
It's going from landscape to portrait.
there.
When you make a video, do you do 4K?
Yeah. All the time. Doesn't take...
You ever do 4K on your phone?
No. But you definitely can. One thing about musky fishing is you gotta be very patient. You could be out here for hours. Sometimes you have to spend 8 hours out here to get yourself a muskie.
Mine's only showing that goes up to 10x.
One day I caught one last year. The second one. I was out here for 8 hours from like 8 in the morning to it was like maybe like even 10 hours, 6 o'clock or something. Sometimes that's what it takes though. Sometimes you get lucky and you'll just come out here and catch a muskie in 10 minutes. That's also happened. That was the first one I caught ever. Just came out here at around 7:30 in July. And hooked one around 8 o'clock and it's starting to get dark. And I was by myself. Luckily there was some guy take a picture of it. And it was probably about 3 or 4 years ago now. But in total I've caught 3. 2 were just last fall. That one was a while ago. Also, it was caught on that one, first one I caught was caught on a Joe Booker top raider. Just like the Weagle that I was using in the beginning of the video. Basically the same thing, but I like the Weagle better. It has a smoother walk.
I'm only getting 20x.
Yeah. Pretty soon.
You gotta wait till it gets warm.
Yeah, definitely. I just came out to cast a little. That's the point of this video, people who are watching. Just came out here to cast some lures. Sometimes you just feel like casting. You just know when you're not going to catch fish. Alright guys, I think that's going to wrap up today's video. Just kind of came out here to catch some musky lures today. It's way too cold. The weather's changing constantly. It's 50 degrees one day, it's 30 the other day, it's 20 at night. Not gonna be very good fishing when you have that. But much more to come in the future. So subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bass.
boys. We fish for a living.